Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, hopefully, if it's all working out, we've got multiple angles now. So when I'm talking, and hopefully not just talking with my hands, I can also do some diamond painting for you guys. I even got some pretty colors today. We got like a very sparkly blue one. That's my favorite. So we're doing that one first. And we're gonna be talking about near-death experiences today. And I've had like a couple of those, which is more than somebody should have. And I'll be talking about two of them. One's like a very short story, and then there's a little bit of a longer one, so I figured I'd do the short story first and go into the longer one, and we can do that while I paint a pretty picture. So, the first story, I was about 4 or 5, somewhere around there. My sister and her friend were babysitting me. And by babysitting, I mean they had me in an area, and they were off doing their own thing and ignoring me. We went to a pool, and her and her friend decided to lay out and tan on some chairs at the pool while I wandered off and was free to roam, do whatever I wanted. So naturally, I walk as close as possible to the edge of the pool. And I can't swim. I didn't learn to swim till I was around 12. My friend taught me. So 4 years old, I had no idea how to swim. And I'm by the deep end of the pool. And while I'm walking, I fallen to the deep end. And I just kind of sunk. I didn't fight it. I didn't try to like splash or freak out or whatever. I didn't do any of that. I just kind of sunk. And I remember seeing the bubbles like coming out of my nose and being just super fascinated by that. And then suddenly, while I'm drowning, I'm pulled to the top of the water by an older gentleman who looked exactly like I would expect Santa Claus to look if Santa Claus was on vacation in Indiana for some reason. Okay? He had a big white beard and long white hair, and just was the happiest looking man I've ever seen. Jolly nose and cheeks and all that. They're red. And he's wearing swim trunks, and I want to say they were red. They're probably not, but my brain wants to say they were red because that would fit the Santa theme. But I remember him looking so much like Santa that I was convinced it was Santa. And then my sister went to go find this guy to thank him, and we couldn't find him, like anywhere at all. Nobody had seen him. Nobody knew who the hell we were talking about. Like we haven't seen a guy that matches that description. So we never got to thank him. And I got told that was my guardian angel. And I'm like, oh, so my guardian angel is Santa. That's pretty dope. You know, maybe I'll get some extra gifts this year. Who knows? So yeah, made it through that. My sister bribed me with a candy bar not to tell our mom about it. And I don't know if I have talked to her about it, but if she's watching, hi Mom, I almost drowned. It's okay, I lived. All right, so the second more serious near-death experience. I was 12, and I don't like that. Cool. So I was 12, and we were living in South Carolina, and I had gotten sick. Like I had a cough, my throat hurt, and my cough was like, it sounded awful. Just horrendous. I couldn't breathe. I felt like garbage. My chest hurt, everything. And my parents were under the impression that I was faking this whole thing. Now, to be fair, as a child, I faked a lot of things to get out of school. I didn't like school. I don't think any kid really likes school. And I was in honors classes and, gifted, all that good stuff. So you got the burnout going. You just don't want to deal with it anymore. You don't want to go to school. So I would do pretty much anything to get out of going to school. And by pretty much anything, I do mean pretty much anything. There was a point in time where I took some Dawn dish soap and I put a little bit, just a little dab, into my eyeball, which made it nice and red looking and all up looking, and my mom believed that I had pink eye and I didn't have to go to school. Also did the thermometer trick where you put that stuff somewhere warm, so, and that also worked. But they did find out that I was trying to get out of going to school. So they're like, not this time. Yeah, no, you're going to school. You're faking all this stuff. And then one night, my mom walks into my room while I'm trying to sleep, and I just stopped breathing. There was nothing. And my mom was like, oh shit, maybe she's telling the truth. We should go to the hospital. So they take me to the hospital. I don't remember what time this is. It's late. I know that. And I was miserable. And we get there and I hear the doctors saying if you had brought her in any later, she'd be dead. And I'm just like, very cool. Awesome. Thanks, Mom, Dad. And they give me some stuff to knock me out. I don't know what it was, but it made my veins feel really, really cold, and it was weird. And I went right to sleep. And I was in the hospital for a month or so, at least, because I had double pneumonia in both lungs. Now, I get put into the room. I get admitted, go in the back, and they try to stick me with an IV, and they stick me 2 times here, 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 and they finally get me after the 3rd time on the top of this hand. That's how dehydrated I was. There was nothing. So they get me hooked up to an IV, and I'm in the hospital room, and then at some point I fell asleep, and during that time, I don't know, I think I ripped my IV out on accident, and then I ended up flatlining. And so the doctors come rushing in, and I only know this, and I don't really know this. I can see myself, I'm floating above myself. I see them coming in, freaking out, and trying to get everything going again. And they're my mom's crying and screaming, and the doctors are panicking, and there's beeping sounds, and I'm seeing all of this from above me. There's no light. I don't know. There's no light at the end of the tunnel or any of that stuff, follow the light. I don't know. That's not my experience. My experience was seeing myself. And it was probably the most bizarre thing that has ever happened. I've never had that happen again, but very much an experience. And I don't know why that happens, but something in your brain just tries to recreate the things around you. And so you picture these things when you're dying. I don't know. But there you go. That's my story. Now, if you guys have any of your own near-death experiences or anything like that, I'd like to hear them in the comments below. That'd be super cool. And if you have any other things you'd like me to talk about, you can also leave those down below. You can leave a like and come back, see me again, have another little chit-chat, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.